Okay, how is everybody this morning?
Great, how are you?
I'm here, and we have an exciting meeting. How many people do we have online already? Can you tell somebody?
Counting us, it looks like there's 8.
8. Should we wait a few minutes longer before we get started? Good morning, Shima.
Good morning. Good morning.
Ellen, I'm glad to see you here this morning. Is that Mimi Tucker? How do you pronounce that? And Sarita Smith.
Good morning.
Okay, who just got on? I don't think all the board members are on yet.
They might not all show up today, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I would probably just, maybe a couple more minutes and then we should get started to,
Not
get this
drag
ball
on.
rolling.
Okay. Anybody have anything they want to say this morning while we're waiting for the other friends to get on?
Where's everybody joining us from?
What
I'm
is
here from
everybody
Smyrna.
what?
Joining us
Hello.
from?
Hi there. I'm here from Smyrna.
Welcome. We're glad to have you.
And do you pronounce that Shani?
It's Hani.
Honey?
Yes,
Lo-
ma'am.
Lovely.
Thanks.
I'm here from Atlanta.
Atlanta, Sarita? Okay.
Yes,
Ellen,
ma'am.
Welcome.
where are you from? I have a small screen. This is not showing a large screen. Marion, can we have a screen with more pictures?
Let me see if I can turn that on.
I like your background, Kimberly. Like you're out in space. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's better than, oh, now we're all in chairs. It's better than what's behind me, which is just a blank wall.
Well, I like your background. I think the backgrounds are nice.
Mm.
Well, we have a lot of empty chairs. Come on, you guys, wake up this morning.
Well, the beautiful day might have lured them outside, with taking advantage of the beautiful weather.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let's just go back then to the big meetings, to our regular pictures. Yeah, I can see you better now, Kimberly. Okay, it is 11:10. I hate to start with
well,
Yeah.
let's value who's here. I mean,
we do, but I think, and I want to thank you people that came on time, being that I came in a little late, that it's really showing respect for everyone else, and I really appreciate that. Well, good morning. I'm going to introduce myself. I am the Vice President acting in place of the President this morning. And so this is our October the 20th, fourth quarter Georgia Poetry Society meeting. And I am your Vice President. This is new for me. I've been a Vice President of a USABA ballroom dance group and the Middle Georgia Art Association, but not of a poetry society. And let me tell you, it has been a summer of many exciting firsts for me as your Vice President. And I have to thank two very, very special people. That's Lucinda Clark and Marion Owens. I really have got to let you know that these two have been the wind beneath my wings, so I could not have accomplished the things I've done. One of the first things I did was on August the 22nd, was my, I guess, first performance at doing a reading. I was invited to be the featured poet poet on Happiness Happens. And this was with Savannah's WRUU radio station. And I was proud to represent Macon and Georgia Poetry Society. And thanks goes to Lucinda for working with Carol. And, you know, I think that we could branch out to other radio stations. Jasmine Daniels, Kimberly Wright, Lucinda Clark, and Asa Brown also did readings that day. And so I thank her for corresponding with Carol. And then, you guys, I did my first open mic on September the 12th. Marion had about a dozen poets pre-registered. They read 2 poems each, and it was so much fun. And listen, you friends, I invite you to turn off the TV this weekend, grab a drink, sit back, and listen to some of the poems that were read on Georgia Poetry Society YouTube. Okay. Then the next thing, we were at a meeting at Marion's. Every other Tuesday, Marion holds a meeting. And at this meeting, not knowing if it was the right thing to do or not, in realizing that we did not have a treasurer, we had a secretary, I asked Kimberly if she would step up and forsake the secretary's position that she was nominated for and step into the treasurer's position. And you friends, you got to know, she did that immediately. And I appreciate that, Kimberly, I really do. And Lucinda Clark, the past president, approved this. And Donna McCady, which is the past treasurer, and Lucinda helped with the transition, and it went pretty smooth, all right? So Kimberly, if you're ready, we would like to listen to your treasurer's report this morning.
Thank you. And thanks for all you've done. It's, you know, it's always a challenge to take a new position, you know, get out of your comfort zone. And being a treasurer is out of my comfort zone. But it's, you know, I want to help however I can. So we're in pretty good shape. We have 24,000 combined in checking and savings. You know, we ran a little hot with the spending, but we're exercising easier, you know, not easy to say, due diligence for some reason. And I think we have a bright future. I am encouraging everyone to check, if you are a member, check Member Planet to see if you are paid up, because there are plenty of people who aren't. And if you're not paid up by January 15th, then that is when we send our fees to national, and you will, you know, that ensures that you will be eligible to for the contests on the national level. So, and it is great to support this great programming, and I encourage you, if you're not a member, to join. And that's about all I have.
Okay, she has done a very good job of bringing us up to date, and I like her attitude of let's volunteer. This is not my comfort zone, but I'm going to give it my best, and that's what we're doing. The next thing that I wanted to mention was our membership report, and we were very fortunate. St. Jules has resigned from membership due to a pressing engagements, and so immediately, again, that wonderful volunteer quality, Marquise Williams has moved away from Georgia, but he's going to remain on the board and will be handling our membership. And so I appreciate that he was doing that. As your vice president, I suggested a new tiered levels for memberships. Marquise Williams, Marion Owens, and a few others. Ashima, weren't you there that day when we were discussing the new tiers for the first time?
Yes, I was.
And everybody approved that. So I'll be telling you more about that later. I don't see Jill Jennings here yet this morning. Jill, are you here? Or she usually does the educational report. Laurie Jones. Okay. Laurie, has everyone seen the new newsletter that Laurie just put out? It is fabulous. And we really need to give a thumbs up to this young lady. She has always gotten the newsletters out on time, and this newsletter was no exception. And she did a very good job of bringing us up to date. Marion, I would like for you to next. He's our tech update. Talk to us about social media, Member Planet, and Touch Lightly. We'll go into it in more detail on your workshops later.
Yeah, so I'm Marion Owen. I'm the kind of like the tech chair for GPS. So I help kind of bring us into the 21st century, turn on some tools that is pretty useful for us, and also help manage a lot of the behind the scenes levers and pulleys and all that type of stuff that you really don't see honestly, until it breaks. So we do have a brand new website that's been up for a few months now. So I definitely encourage you to check that out. I've been slowly starting to utilize that to post information, courses, publishing information, how to purchase books. So we're slowly unveiling more and more tools that we can have in our, in our toolbox, definitely for the members. Kimberly did mention Member Planet. So Member Planet is a tool that we use to help manage our membership in a way that we can kind of quickly determine who is a paid and active member, at what level are you actually actively paid for, and is the kind of like the reminder to, hey, something's coming up for payment, for example. What that does is it also bleeds into all of our other activities that we can help with the members, such as doing online workshops, maybe a face-to-face workshops, inviting you to member-only events, having engaged speakers, for example, quarterly meetings or open mics and things like that are kind of exclusive to members. So some of the things that Barbara did mention is that I do have bi-monthly meetings, and those are honestly designed to kind of answer any questions, technical questions, how-tos, and so it's slowly evolving into workshops where I'm trying to keep track of some of the questions I'm asked, such as, hey, how do I effectively use Twitter? Well, X now. How do I effectively use Facebook? What's the point of Instagram? I'm a poet. Why do I need to put my face on camera? Or do I need to put my face on camera? How do I start a podcast? Those technical questions, I'm more than welcome to answer that and kind of take you through the basic steps of starting a podcast. It's not, honestly, it's not as hard as most people think. All other things we have in the works is we're starting to incorporate online courses and digital courses that we think our members might want or care about. So we recently created a course for poets and marketing, and it's an online course that's on our website. So if you head over to georgiapoetrysociety.org, you'll see it on the homepage, as well as at the very top, there's a new link called Our Courses. It'll take you through a couple of emails, and you can kind of follow along, and it kind of guides you through that. So that is kind of designed to be a first level, and then we'll be offering another level to where that, for example, might be a additional fee for non-members, or it might be incorporated into the membership fees that is part of your dues. You're paying for that, so therefore you get access to a large catalog of courses, you get access to meetings with us, you get access to workshops, and so forth and so forth. So that's a big summary of what's coming from my side. As far as the numbers, how do we look like? So we have an email account that we use to manage communication going out to our members. So far, we've got about 365 people that I can reach through these email campaigns. So the good thing about that too is if you're an aspiring poet and you have a book that that you're trying to publish, or you want to have a workshop for yourself, technically you have access to a community of almost 400 people. So I have access to 365 emails. We have access to 180 Instagram accounts, aka people who follow us, and almost about 50 people following us on Facebook. So we're slowly starting to grow our community, our network, and we want to help our people. We want to help our members to where if Barbara has an event coming up in her neck of the woods that she'd really love to invite all of GPS to, we've got almost 400 people that we can easily send an email out or a communication out to say, hey, come on out October 30th for a trunk or treat. It's poetry based, whatever we'd like to do. So I definitely encourage you to kind of be a little bit more vocal about how you'd like to participate in GPS, and also how would you like GPS to support you as a member. We've got the tools, we've got the ability. So yeah.
Friends, if y'all are not excited after just hearing Marion's report, go get a cup of coffee and wake up. Because Marion is doing so many fabulous things for us. I just cannot tell you what all he is doing. And what other organization can you get such cooperation from other members and be offered all these types of poems without having to pay an extravagant price for? Marion is really a blessing to this organization. Some old business that we have. When I was reading through past articles of the National Federation, I noticed that GPS was commended. And let me tell you about that. They had asked for people to respond to them, different societies. Now imagine, all over the United States, only 9 societies reported to this organization. And GPS was one of the 9. So if you can, reach over, pat yourself on the back, because Lucinda stepped up, did what she needed to do, and she made us look really good. And so I want to thank her for responding to them in a manner that brought attention to us. Member recognition. I noticed that Lynn Farmer had first place in a Massachusetts contest. St. Jules has been doing some reading. Do any of the members have anything they want to share right now about what they've been doing? Come on, friends, don't be shy. Are you working on your book? Tell us anything real quick that you're doing. This is your organization. We want to hear from you. Okay, now I would like to go to Lucinda Clark, and if she would talk to us a little bit about the Georgia Center for Nonprofits, the Blackberry Peach Festival, and the winner is, that's an exciting thing she's going to talk about the winner being Roswell, Georgia. So if you could, Lucinda, are you able to give us a report? I can't hear you.
Sorry about that. Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Barbara and Kimberly, for stepping up, Marquise, everyone, Lori, and Marion. Because we've been so active at the national level, and I wanted to add, Barbara, from your comments, there are actually 38 state poetry societies involved at the national level. Georgia was selected back in the summer to host the national convention and the Blackberry Peach Slam competition. We've been working as a committee at the national level, and we made a couple of rounds around the state, and Roswell, Georgia was selected as the venue, the city that will be the host for the state of Georgia. What's happening right now is we have a couple of members. I don't know, some of you may know Lady V, Davita Williams, who is based in Atlanta. She is one of the primary coordinators with the national for the slam competition. There was a little bit of confusion last year from some of you who helped us send our state representative in terms of how all of that would work. And so what we were able to do was we were able to share with them all the things that they need to do to help the states become aware of what the convention is about, and the success of the slam competition. Just a point of clarification from those conversations, the National Society of Poetry Societies convention has been going on for over 40 years. And so they are old hats. They can do it in their sleep. And the convention comprises of activities, readings, and recognition for all of the poetry winners. And so when they come here to Roswell, it's June 5th through the 10th. It's 4.5, 5 days of nonstop poetry and interacting and networking with other poetry societies in the United States. It's a great festival. I mean, it's a great convention. And so the slam competition has only been going on. This will be its 3rd year. It has been highly successful in the state of Florida. The chair for that is Joe Kavanaugh. And they went to Iowa last year, and there was some slight confusion because they merged the two, the convention and the competition. They are looking to do it again this year, except that the way that they're planning it, the slam competition is a separate entity that's been merged with the convention. And so Lady V is working diligently to get anyone who is slam ready, or if you are doing slam in the state of Georgia right now, they want to hear from you, because they're not only doing the competition, they're also doing a youth festival. Right now, our state representative, Jasmine Daniels, who actually represented us, is also on the committee. And they're looking for, well, Lady V is looking for anyone else who wants to volunteer or work in that aspect. With regards to the convention, I am the coordinator for that part of it. There is a Page Poets competition that may have already gone out and is listed in the newsletter. As a member, if you send in 1 to 3 poems, you can win a free stay at the hotel, and you'll be recognized at the competition. The dollar amounts I'm not going to post right now. I think that they're already up and have been advertised, but that's a great way to find out what happens at the national level. So please be on the lookout for that. And if you have any other questions, feel free to go to the Facebook page or to go to the National Society for Poetry Society's website. They're working to get updated information. So are there any questions? Okay, great. So this part I'm really excited about, the Georgia Center for Nonprofits. Oh, hold on. Was that a question?
What? No, sorry, I was just posting behind you what the Facebook page is.
Thank you. Thanks, Marion. Now, the Georgia Center for Nonprofits, this aspect of our involvement as a poetry society is extremely important. Earlier this year, we had a meeting with the board, and I presented to them there's an organization called the Georgia Center for Nonprofits. You can Google it; it'll come up. Or Marion, if you have that link, we can share it. They offered any nonprofit arts organization based in Georgia 1 year free membership. And in that membership, they have trainings on any aspect of being a nonprofit, from how you interact with your board members, how you onboard, how you strategically plan, how you fundraise. And you got to sit in with a lot of the nonprofit organizations based here in Georgia. I was fortunate enough to actually attend a number of the classes, and you get certification once you complete them. And I do have the files and the videos from each one of those sessions, and it's still ongoing. What happened was, because the board approved it and I submitted our application and we were accepted, we have from now until, I think it's June 1st of next year to take advantage of these classes. So let's just say you want to know more about finance. there is actually a session where they will train you in all the subtleties of finance. And then we actually get a coach. So if we have any specific questions, we can call in and we get time with a coach free of charge to help us to segue into any direction that we're looking to go. If you are interested in getting any of that information, any of the past classes, the PDF files, any of the information that I've been able to partake or participate in, you can send me an email and I will share that information with you. But the most important thing is that they have a newsletter that goes out, it's electronic, every week, that outlines fundraising opportunities to showcase what you're doing here in the state, what we are doing here in the state, and it's all free of charge. And so if any member, you don't have to be a board member, just a member that we can certify through Georgia Poetry Society, you can partake in this free arts education. So are there any questions, comments? Okay.
How
Great.
long are the courses? Like how long did it take?
Well, each course you get an email and all the information beforehand, and they usually start at 9:30 till about noon. There's about a 30-minute break in between classes, and it's once a week. So
Gotcha.
yeah, it's great. So some of the things that you're covering, Marion, they actually give you the knowledge to be able to understand, to ask the questions that you need to help us.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So please, if nothing else, go to YouTube and see some of the offerings that they have here, or reach out and I'll send you some of the files from what they've taught us so far.
I think the website is gcn.org.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I linked it inside of the chat as well as the courses, so I was able to find the resource hub for GCN. Yeah.
Yeah. So until that's it. Wait a minute. Oh, that's right. Marion added that. No other questions or comments. That's my report.
Thanks. Thank you for that. That was really interesting and helpful.
Okay. It's very, very exciting. And I was wondering, Marion, we can discuss this later, that we could bring that into some of those every other Tuesday meetings or do something to make it readily available. So I think that's very exciting. Does anybody have any old business that they want to add that I have not covered? Okay, well, going on to new business, the open mic schedule is going to be November the 14th. And that's from 7 to 9 o'clock. And then in the works is December the 12th at the same hours. And I really want to recommend that people sign up early. I held my second open mic this past Tuesday, October the 17th. And I want everyone that's listening to this on YouTube to know that this is open not only to the Georgia Poetry Society, but to all poets. We want to make poetry something that everyone has in their life, and that if they are beginning poets and they need the experience of reading, come on, register. Marion sends out the information in time, and so register. One thing that I would like to say in regard to being on open mic, number one is please have your poems pre-selected and ready to read. I don't want you running down the hall to look for something. So please be ready. And let me tell you, being prepared makes your breathing easier and your voice is more relaxed and it's more pleasant to hear. Also, we would like to make sure that everyone keeps their poems short to medium length. And this is a courteous consideration, friends. This way, more poems will have poets will have the opportunity to read, and we may be able to do a second round, and you can read 2 poems. Now I'm going to touch on something a little bit sensitive. This has not happened since I came on board. But please, no immoral subjects or off-colored language. I know you know this, but it has to be appropriate for even the young ones that are coming on board. They're going to emulate us, and we are teaching them. Watching a previous in-person board meeting, the F-bomb was dropped. I noticed the program chairman was quite surprised. And look, this may be fine for different groups, but my personal feelings as your vice president, I'm going to kind of quote an English teacher who said that vulgarities are an excuse for minds that are unable to express themselves. We GPS poets do not fall into that category. We are professionals, and we can handle ourselves as so. And like I said, I've only noticed that once, but with the world changing as it is, it's just kind of good to know other programs can do what they want to. But this is my suggestions. Does anybody else have an opinion and would like to add to this? I guess that means that that is approved. Okay. Now we're going to go into some fun stuff. Are you aware that in spring of 1977 to this spring of 2024, we are celebrating 47 years. As your vice president, I want to introduce this term that I'm on as a celebration of the members. This year, we have all gotten together at different meetings of board, and we really want to make this all about you members. We want you to get more out of this year than you have ever gotten before. I think with what Lucinda has said and Marion has said, you can see that this is going to be an exciting time. Marion and Laurie Jones are going to keep you up informed about all the things that we're going to be offering you. Now, some of the benefits and opportunities of membership, I would like, well, Maurice Williams is not here, but Marion and I can discuss a little bit about the new multi-tiered membership. Now, right now, we will not need an editor or a contest judge, because at the Saturday, October the 12th meeting, I think Shima was there, Maurice Williams, Marion Owens, I brought Kimberly right up to date. These are some things that we discussed. I'm going to go over it and you'll get more information. Tier 1 of your membership, we maybe could call a special membership. This has always been for students. I would like to suggest in the category of students, putting those who are over 80. Also, I was wondering if those with disabilities could come in at the price, which is currently $20. And as Kimberly said, in January, the membership fees go up and that would go to $20. The second tier would be really what is your regular membership. Currently, it's $30 and it's going to increase, and this is what we've been discussing, to $40. Now, in this tiered membership, Tier 2 guarantees that one poem will be published in the Reach of Songs. And this will also include an introductory to Marion's mini courses that they will not have to pay for, and also Marion's 6-week email courses. Tier 3 membership, we're thinking about maybe a price of $50. This assures that you'll have one poem in the Reach of Song. And the benefit of this level, poets can enter 2 additional poems for consideration, but they're not guaranteed that they will be, because it will depend on the number of poems already in the book and the decision of the editorial committee. Also, next benefit, the discounted or free workshops that Marian discussed. And so you'll be hearing more about that. The last tier, I guess you've had a lifetime, and in this position, I don't know that much about that. Does anyone want to tell me and others about the lifetime membership? What it is and what you might consider it going up to? Anybody got information?
I think the lifetime membership is $500, but I would have to check.
Okay, it'd be interesting to know how many lifetime members we do have.
That is something I can check on
Okay.
Member Planet.
All righty. I would like to suggest no free books. Even if you are in the Reacher song, I think maybe we could have tiered discounts. These books should make a lot of money for the Georgia Poetry Society. Everyone that I have seen is absolutely beautiful. It's something to be very proud of. And in this year that we're going to be celebrating, I wondered if we wanted, we do not have in-person meetings right now, but people always like to wear their T-shirts, or they like to drink out of a Georgia Poetry Society mug. This is just an idea that may be a way to raise more money. Any suggestions on that, or how does that sound to you guys?
You talking about merch?
Other merchandise, maybe. Have we ever done it before? I know, Lucinda, you gave
No.
out lovely glasses to the people that served with you last year, and I know they were very well received. And I wonder how many members, when you sit down and turn on GPS on YouTube, you wouldn't like to have your GPS coffee mug while you're
Yeah.
watching it. I think that would be a fun thing. I know I would like to have one. I'm proud of our society. So that's something to consider.
I think it would be a good idea, and I think we can do. I could look into like a print to order type of service, to where it's like, we provide them our logos or any inspirational words, or designs, and then we can expand the instead of bookstore, we can also call it like the merch store or GPS store. So yeah, I think I can turn some stuff on behind the scenes to make that happen. I'll just shop around to see what we might have access to, and I'm guessing they're gonna probably take a cut of the price up front, and that's gonna just be passed on to the members when they purchase like the mug or the T-shirt or anything like that.
And two, we could work this in the tiered membership. Maybe they get a discount, or I don't know, we can
good
talk
idea.
about it. I really appreciate everybody with their positive attitudes this morning. It's wonderful. I appreciate it.
That might be a good idea, because I think for most drop shipping type of situations, we can offer like a one-time 20% discount, and that's part of your membership dues, like a single purchase over $50 or something like that. I don't know. We'll see if we can have something like that turned on.
Right. We can see how it works into tiered membership. Okay. Now the
I was gonna say, I have a comment, Barbara. With regards to tiered memberships, the way that it was laid out, I think that once we post what the memberships are right now, within the next week or so, because Kimberly was encouraging everyone who hasn't paid to pay their membership. And then as people pay for this year, just see what the status is. Because I think that the numbers that we had that were reported, it wasn't all the way clear from my hearing. 365 people are currently on the membership rolls. And I think that when we first started, Marion, George, and I, we were looking at those memberships and trying to get an understanding. I think that before you offer the tiered memberships, right now with what they pay for the $30, they get to submit one level up at the national level, and they get access to over 50 poetry contests. I know because I've been getting the calls for those. So if we can just say what you get right now for the $30 and what you get for a lifetime, then we can go to offering the tiered, because I think that if you ask most of the people on this call right now, aside from those who paid this year, they don't know what the membership is. Like I know I paid, but I couldn't call it off the top of my head. So I think if they know this is what you get right now, this is what you're gonna get next year, that'll be easier to
Right.
for anyone who's trying, because we're all trying to visualize it and we don't have anything in front of us. So I think it's a good idea, but I think in another meeting we reference, if you compare our pricing to any other organization, are we getting the same bang for our buck? And so, yeah.
Yeah, I think this year they are really going to get their bang for their bucks, because this is really what I want to make so clear, is how valuable our members are. And I don't know if they really know how much we appreciate them. So this is a year that I really want it to be all about the members, as much as we can do for them, help them to enjoy us more, to grow more. And we are offering so many fabulous things, Lucinda, that you just mentioned, and Marion's got in. I mean, and about this tier, this is just an idea that we're presenting today. It'll be worked out as after this meeting. We'll be getting together and working this out. So I appreciate your input on that.
Mhm.
Anybody else have anything? Okay, the next thing I would like for us to do is to celebrate our new Reach Your Song 2023-24 committee. This committee takes the place of editors and judges this year. This is for this year of celebrating. Maurice Williams, Mary Owen, and myself are on this committee. I would like to invite Trish to look into, since she's worked with the Reach Your Song, to think about us. And one thing that's so fabulous, that Marion sent out a letter saying, come on, guys, support GPS. And he got a wonderful return of people that are saying, I'm here, I want to do more, I'm willing to volunteer. So this is a committee that will need additional volunteers as we get going, because we will have the entries coming in. So we will have the editors and we will have the judging. And I think this is going to be a very nice committee. Marion, do you want to add to this the things that we had discussed about our new little group?
Yeah, I think what the idea is to kind of involve and include a couple of like our members to help spread the load, essentially, is kind of the easiest way to say it, and ensure that we do have something for the Reach Your Songs, potentially something coming out. Yeah, and I think it's going to just help encourage more membership participation as well.
Right. So, like, I want us to have what I think would be a cute little term, is poetry partners. Like, we're partnering together on this committee. And I think when you work with a partner, and as they say, more hands makes the job much, much easier. Okay. Anybody else have anything on that? Okay, the next thing that we were thinking, and you're going to hear a lot about tiering this year. Doesn't mean crying, you guys, okay? We want to know what you think about this. We're also going to have a new multi-tiered marketing programs. Marion has already, I think you've touched on this, Marion. That's included that 6 weeks. Do you want to, in case anyone came in late, just briefly say, like, right now, what you've been offering us about that email course? I've taken it. I'm going to take it the second time, because it is very, very helpful. And I thank you, Marion, for putting that together.
Yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure. So essentially, it's an email course that's just going to help teach us how to effectively market our written work. A lot of times, writers they focus on just the artisanal part of your craft. It's just the writing, and it's not a lot of times people are focusing on what's next, the actual promotion part. So this course is essentially designed to help you understand the different layers and the different steps of getting your work out there, letting people know that there's something that you've created. It's never going to be a situation where I've written something and then you just stand still and you hope somebody finds you. That's not really how it's going to work in today's world. So it's leveraging social media, leveraging your including network, building an online presence, maximizing your exposure. And I help you kind of walk through the basics and the understanding of what's kind of needed on a kind of a 6-part email course. So when you register online on our website at georgiapoetrysociety.org, you can see at the very top there's a link that's called courses, GPS courses, and in there eventually there'll be more courses, but right now we do have a free email course to essentially help you learn how to effectively market your written work. Again, you just register for it. It'll take you through about 6 different emails. And towards the end of the course, it's going to ask you, was this good for you? Would you suggest any additional changes? Would you like to see more? Would you pay for something like this? Would you like us to increase more about like maybe building your online presence? Essentially, we're trying to get some feedback to see where should we take this? Should we focus more on helping you get published? Should we help focus more on finding funding for your work? Should we help you for finding where could we put your work in contests? You know, really, we just want to get some feedback and learn how can we help to create courses, how to expand our catalog, how do we reach out, and how do we help you as members to, you know, do what you want to do, write poetry, speak poetry, critique poetry, publish poetry.
Friends, I mean, where are you going to get someone offering to help you in every area of your poetry life as this organization is offering? We really let us know what you're interested in. And one thing that Marion and I discussed, especially since I'm new to reading poetry in public, and I was asking about how many people would be interested in having someone giving a short presentation on ways to improve how we read and how we speak. And so let us know what you want, what you need, what you think would be even fun. And in talking about having fun, this is something that's floating in the air. It's kind of like poetry partners, like I was saying, to volunteer. I would like for us to think about having a Zoom social, like a little networking group. It could be poetry partners and friends, the partners being those that volunteer, the friends being the members, friends that members bring on, and maybe once a month on one of those Tuesdays that we're not with Marion, think about just getting together and getting to know each other and networking. I think having personal contact with as many members makes an organization stronger. What are your ideas on this, friends? Seen them selling Lucinda, that coffee mug could have been a Georgia poetry soup.
That, yeah, well, I've got my glass, so, but I wanted to comment on because a lot of the ideas you're sharing are excellent ones. I think that the one other thing that we really would need to think about going into next year are meetings where we gather the members. I know that we're all over the state, and so if we can figure out where, say, we were doing it for the quarterly meetings where we were having a live and a Zoom based event. But I think that going back to live meetings, even if it's just like the poets from Augusta get together and have coffee, I think that that will actually strengthen what we're doing as well. Because what we've built here, thank you again, Marion, you know, buddy, I can't thank you enough from behind the scenes. I think that this has brought us into the 21st century. but there are still members who like that live interaction. And then the other thing was the schools for the education. There were a lot of members who were interested in getting back into the schools. And so anything that is live would really bring out the members we currently have.
Yes, I agree. Now, you see me wearing a mask. I've been wearing a mask since 2019 before COVID. And now I'm going to make you laugh. I say I wear a mask now because I don't want to get a computer virus while I'm on with you. So that's my silliness. But no, in-person meetings are going to be fabulous. But until we can, let's just reach out to each other as much as we can. I would like to also, and I think Marion touched on this, how you would like to volunteer, what you are opening to doing, like I'm a judge for out-of-state contest right now. Let us know if you would be willing to be a judge. What are you willing to do? And grab a friend and just get more involved. Let's see. I guess that's just about it. Having 365 members up to date now, I think that's fabulous. I think we need to invite them all to go in and listen to this quarterly meeting. I think they are going to be absolutely amazed at the wonderful job the past board has done. Lucinda, I know that you stepped in at a time that was not as easy for us new volunteers stepping into board positions. The work you and the past individuals have done has made it much easier for us. And as I said earlier, you and Marion have certainly been the wind beneath my wings, because I couldn't do. And this is what I want you to know. I wish I had the little email that I returned to Lucinda. I said, okay, I'll do this job, but let me tell you, girlfriend, if you back out, I may go running. And that's something you'll never have to do. If you step up and volunteer, call me, call anybody, and they will really, from experience, I can tell you, you will not do your job alone, friends. You will have an army of volunteers ready to help you. So talking about that, we have a position of president that is still open, and we have the position of secretary that is also open. I hope in the coming weeks that we will hear from others, that because they know they have support, good support, that they will not fear stepping up into positions that could benefit this organization. We're doing good without them, but we'll do even better with them. Anybody have anything to say about that?
I do. As the immediate past president, everyone at the sound of my voice, to be president of this organization for the last couple of years has been very, very tough. But what Barbara has just said has turned out to be extremely true. We've had, I think that when I came on, we had a supportive vice president, George, I don't know where he is now, and Marion, and we put together a foundation that we needed to move forward. Fast forward to where we are right now, like you said, Lori, who has been the newsletter editor, Barbara, who has stepped up, and she's constantly on the phone calling and checking, Kimberly, who has stepped up and moved positions. I think that the reason a president has not stepped up yet is because it feels like it would be just a tremendous amount of work. I having been in the interim in the background, I have to move on because I do have a day job that I have to get back to, but it is much easier now. You have the support at the national level. They really enjoy working with our society, and there are people out there who will step up once they hear from you. So I think that what we're doing right now, that person is going to step up, but by our bylaws, we need that person to step up January 2024.
John Tag, how do you pronounce your name? Did you see the little pop-up from,
That was me.
okay, what would you like to share with us?
Yes, ma'am. So one of the reasons I joined today, was because an email went out saying that, we don't have a president and there are other, roles that need to be filled, and I'm interested because, I had been a member for a while, and there now you can see me.
Whoops, we see
Sorry.
the top of your head. Bring your count. There you go.
There we go. Sorry about that. So anyway, I did say I am more interested in being involved. I just would like to know more about what that entails, so I can incorporate that into my responsibilities throughout the week. I work full time, and so yeah. But I am interested in serving in some capacity if you need it.
Do either of those positions interest you at all or fit into your schedule? Do you have the background experience to, because we would want to make sure that we didn't put you in a position that you weren't ready or have the experience to handle, because we want it to be easy for you. What are you
Right.
interested in?
Maybe secretary to start. Again, I don't know what all it involves, so I would really have to look at what those responsibilities would be
Okay.
before I made a decision.
Lucinda, are you capable of just giving her a brief overview to make her more comfortable in her decision?
Yeah, actually, Kimberly can help me with this. What we did was we went through the bylaws. And if you go to the bylaws, you will see exactly, it's printed out there, what the basic requirements are for a secretary. Because we no longer are stuck with pen and paper, it would basically be monitoring all of the meetings. We now record all of our meetings. They come with a audio visual printout and a video. And so as a secretary, those would be the main things. Now, Kimberly, you took over in the interim as a secretary, but it would probably be going through the membership files and monitoring that email that has secretary at Georgia Poetry Society. Right now, a lot of those emails come to the president. But
Yes.
if you can get to the bylaws, and there's actually a manual that on the founding GPS, the GPS founders put together, that packet of information needs to be sent to you. It is not digitized. I do have a copy, and we actually gave it to every board member, and it outlines all the jobs that they had initially thought about for this organization. So if you'll put your contact information in the chat, we will make sure that you get it.
Okay, I can kind of see this link here for the bylaws. Secretary shall conduct correspondence, shall record the minutes. I think I might be capable of doing that, but let me look at it more in detail.
And just I'll re-emphasize that because we've gone to digital and we record everything, you're basically going to be the person who reviews that and makes sure that it gets out. So, and then monitoring that email address, secretary at Georgia Poetry Society.
Okay, so
sorry.
You need my contact information?
Yes. Did I miss anything, Kimberly?
Thank you.
No, that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, and so I'll add one other part. When someone expresses interest for a particular position, I have them contact the last person who held the position. So when Barbara came on and was interested in being VP, I had her talk to George, who was the last VP. And I said, I'm not going to get on the call, speak your truth. And if you still want the job, we'll proceed to onboard you. So there is an onboarding process for anyone, especially if you want to come into the executive committee positions and for board members.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And you know what's so easy? Not only will you be able to talk to someone who's held the job before, But really, in having the videos, it's like you've got a partner in being a secretary. You don't have to worry about, oh, what did she say? Or what was that? I mean, it really has made that position, I'm going to call it yours until you say it's not. No, but it does make that position so much easier being recorded. And Marion will be right there beside you with all of this information. So you can contact me.
Mhm.
If I give her I don't want to give my number over YouTube. But just thank you for being here. I really appreciate meeting you this morning. You're young and you're vibrant, and I'm sure that you could handle anything you set your heart to, and we would love to welcome
you.
you to do this. All righty, so if she can set us that, then we will only have one position left to fill. We've been moving along pretty quickly this morning. I've really enjoyed everything. Would y'all like to have an open mic now? Are you ready to read some of your poems, or do we all need to take a 5-minute break, get another cup of coffee, and come back and then spend 30 or 40 minutes reading poetry?
Mhm.
Hello, friends. Come on.
Oh, I was gonna say break. I vote for
Yeah.
break.
5-minute break.
Too, break.
You want a 5 or a 10-minute break?
Hmm.
5. Keep the momentum. Keep going.
Okay. All
Okay.
righty. Let's all take a break and go get your poems, and let's have a few minutes of extra fun.
Let me record.
Okay. I'm holding up a painting. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Just an idea that I would be willing, in looking at the covers, to see what kind, I can't see it now, of cover art you've had. I'll let y'all see this more clearly. And if it meets your approval, I would donate it to be the cover, so you wouldn't have to pay for cover art. Just an idea. It won't hurt my feelings if you say no. I'm coming unplugged. Is Shantae, is that how you pronounce your name?
It's Hani.
Yeah, you said that earlier, honey.
That's okay. It doesn't look anything like it sounds, so I understand.
Right. But I remember saying earlier how much I liked it, honey. Okay. Sarita, are you back? Ellen, are you back? Tucker? Did
Yes,
y'all
ma'am, I'm back.
did y'all go and get your poetry? Okay, I'm plugging myself in. Okay. Who would like to start reading their poems? Kimberly, come on, friends.
I can start if no one else wants to.
We'll just go across the screen.
So is it me?
Yep, go ahead, friend.
Okay.
And this is
I had a
Kimberly.
poem published in San Antonio Review, but I don't think it reads very well. You know, it's more visual. So I'm gonna go with a poem I wrote about my late uncle called Whatever Remains of the Gold Rush. My uncle wandered the great California desert, sketching and painting, dabbling in doobies, panning pebbles, searching for scant shimmering flakes, believing in those veins something is left, summoning on canvas hallucinogenic glow of desert sunsets, building shanties along arroyos, pedaling a rickety bike in noisy, nosy San Jose, digging for treasure in echoing metal bins, dazzled and dusty as a rabbit in a cornfield, legs bursting with baby spiders, sleeping in a bedroll behind a business, hassled by those who won't mind their own, thrashing with epilepsy, easy prey for a cop's fists, meditating in sweat lodges in Solano and San Quentin, composing poetry and wild-eyed cartoons and vagabond letters for someone else to compile.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And
I
that was for your
I
uncle.
apologize for not starting my video. I meant to, but oh well.
Well, your doggy sounds like he was enjoying hearing your reading, so we appreciate looking at that. It's a her or him. I forgot what you told me. He's cute.
Oh, her. She's 11. Her name's Lucy.
Going across the screen, then I guess I would be next. And this poem won first place. Is called Naughty Yet Nice. She's young and oh so innocent. Naughty at times can be, depending on the time of day, but nights especially. Daytime, she likes to play around in one place, never stay. Makes you wonder, where is she going? But only time will say. When crawling towards you on her knees, she takes your breath away. You sweep her up into your arms. Her presence makes your day. Nighttime, she's unpredictable, quite demanding as can be. Desires and needs unsatiable, both dead tired around 3. She gets naughty when bottle wants, screams and loud known to get innocent behavior because she's just 2, don't forget. So that was Naughty Yet Innocent. Okay, Shima, I think you're next across the screen. Shima.
Yes, sorry. I was trying to connect. I actually have to drive soon, so I'm listening for the next 5 minutes.
Okay, all righty, we'll come back to you. Going down the screen, Lucinda, are you ready?
Oh, I am not. I am in between judging.
Oh,
you can
yes.
Mhm.
Tell them what you're doing today.
Today, I am judging the spooky short stories for the Georgia writers. They are middle schoolers who have submitted spooky stories, and the deadline for my judging is today. So I'm,
That's
Fabulous.
awesome.
yeah, I'm juggling two balls.
And isn't it exciting to judge and to read these things?
Oh my goodness. Yes, I've judged for the national. I did 5 contests this past year. The writing is phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, with off the top of my head, which state I'm judging for right now. But you know, I crawled in bed and started reading, and this I'm judging a contest on nature. And let me tell you, I read about a honeybee, I read about trees, and do you know that all of a sudden tears were flowing down my face? I was so appreciative of the beauty that comes from the written word. Let me tell you, reading poems out of a book is one thing, but when you're judging, it puts you on a more personal basis. Do you agree, Lucinda? You almost feel like you know them, though you don't know them. It's so much more personal than reading in a book.
Oh
You
yeah,
agree?
I do agree. I think that you learn how other contests are judged, and you get to hear from all walks of life, all sorts of poets, poets and writers, especially young people. That's the one thing that I really enjoy, and I've learned to do, or really get better at since I've been serving with Georgia Poetry Society.
Hey, Marion, got an idea for you, buddy. Let's see if we can get some information how we can be better judges. That might be a program that we could work on.
Okay.
And let me share something with you now that I forgot to mention earlier. Lucinda, I think she's fabulous. She has her publishing business, and I don't see why we cannot use our own members And so I asked her if she would be the publisher of Outreach of Song this year. I think she said yes, but I'm going to stay on her. But she said she must have it presented to her ready to go. So that's where this new Reach of Song committee will be so valuable in getting everything ready for Lucinda. Do you agree, Lucinda? You're thinking about doing it?
Barbara, you are a tough lady. I am thinking about it. Yes, I'm thinking. But Shima, actually, since we're talking about publishing, Shima and I have published two books of her poetry. One which was a translation from Persian, right, Shima? Or Farsi,
Yes,
Farsi to English.
Persian is correct, yes.
And what you all don't know is that both of our books that we published were award-winning many years ago.
Fantastic.
So
And
I'm gonna-
Sheena, when she reads, her voice and her accent are absolutely fantastic. I love to hear her.
Thank you.
Okay. Honey, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. Okay, so this is a poem. It was published in Otradec, which is the literary review for Valdosta State, where I just finished my library master's.
Fantastic.
Okay, so this one's called Wild One. My rain-wet hair, a sodden wool, all unkempt curl, a plastered veil, a soggy moss. I do not mourn the drenched black blouse, the doused brown slacks, the soaked silk socks, and mud-slick leather slippers. My hair, though, will take hours to dry. It was a hard rain, one that floated wheels, overwhelming drains and torrents. Another arm of dead tree slumped down hard, splintered bones, shrapnel on the flattened grass. Not all of me comes back inside. She's still out there, roaming. I call out to myself, wild one, lost one, come home. Comb the tangles from your hair. Remove the burrs from your skirt, your woolen socks, and the laces of your boots. Brush off the wet grass shavings clinging to your collar and your hips from the field where you rolled. Take off that mud-stained black cloak making you sweat. Free one, wandering one, return. Loose the mats in your fur. Run your sharp beak over the mites in your feathers, your webbed feet, and your insulating gown. Shake off the straw from the stable where you rested, pasted on your flanks. Drop those blood-stained white antlers making you itch. Cease your long and weary ramblings and stay. Thank you.
Wow. That's very sensitive. Calling out to myself, the mud-stained cloak, shake off the straw. You could really visualize everything you were saying. Very well done, honey. Very well
Thank you.
done.
Thank you.
Is it Mimi Tucker? Hello, next on the screen. Tucker. Okay, Sarita, it's rolling over to you on the screen. Are you ready to do a reading for us?
Yes, ma'am. So this poem is super short, and I recently wrote it, and it's entitled Sacred Waters. Salt, water, blessings. My tears are made of the same elements as holy water. When I cry, God comes.
Oh, that is short, but right to the point. Do you have another short one you can read real quick? Shorty said,
I do.
let's go.
So I have another poem. I'm just scrolling through some stuff that I've written. So this poem is also another really short one. It's called Most Men.
Most me?
Most Men.
Okay.
And it's, aren't you glad to get out of that hot sun? He asked. No, I answered. Even with sunburn and heat exhaustion, the noonday sun has been kinder to me than most men.
Wow. Marion, do we have the contact information for these wonderful people that are on Zoom with us today so I can get back to them and talk to them? You can let me know later. Okay, we're
Yes, we do.
okay. Okay, Kimberly, it's rolling around to you on the screen. You have another one?
Sure. Let me actually start my video.
Okay, come
All
back.
right.
There you are, you're back, world.
Yes. And I lost my place. I apologize. Ah, here it is. Okay. This is from my collection, Not Pictured, published in 2020 by Finishing Line Press. And this poem is called Ink Pit. When you meet the non-love of your life at a toxic waste dump, you don't notice random guy mired with newsprint, dust, stranger sweat. The coffee cup holds warm muck. When you meet your future ex at an ink pit, reality nests like a Matryoshka doll, except what lies hidden instead of smaller dolls could be gree-gree, chicken bones, black mold, or printing byproducts dumped decades ago, out of sight, out of mind. Appearances knit together in walls and brick, sewer and road, tick and tock, cyan, magenta, yellow, black in balance for color photos, only a slight smudge, ink by the gallon, towering reams of paper. Mammoth presses with metal teeth devour stray arms of print shop workers. Jaundiced, unblinking graphite ghosts of eyes haunt newsprints, aging pages. When you meet a balding Basil Bubba at a crime scene, you miss the wanted poster someone forgot to print. The warning black and yellow fallout shelter sign should have read, "Stay away," to compensate for the lack of smoke. Benzene and lackadaisical drops seeped in deep, the color of humus-rich earth, bitter like day-old newsroom coffee, carried in the rainwater, secreted in the sewer, languishing in groundwater veins, not suitable to inhale or drink. Words, smiles, bouquets shrink to brittle fiber.
Wow. Toxic weight stuff. That is very interesting. That was very visual. And you know what? I couldn't almost giggle to myself when you talked about towering tiers of paper. You poets, are you like myself? I'm drowning in what Kimberly just described as towering tiers of paper. That was very lovely.
Thank
Okay,
you.
my turn on the screen. Anyone can do it. If we're just growing older, how come we're all shrinking? We haven't lost our senses. I think I'm still thinking. The sad truth, when getting older, we plan to go someplace. Too tired to go, took all our strength, just making up our face. Our teeth are more social than we, I hear everyone say, because they're always taken out every night and every day. Particular pants must mention tight wear in case tinkle. Fortune tellers presumptuous want to read face wrinkles. Conscious can file for retirement. We're old, nothing can do. Don't have to avoid temptation. It avoids me and you. Truth be told to you young babes, growing old is not rough. Anyone can do it. Just gotta live long enough. And that's anyone can do it. Shima had to go. She said she enjoyed today and we were glad to have her on. Honey, on the screen, it's your turn again.
Okay. So yeah, I have one more for today. So
Okay.
this one is from my latest book, Circles of Roses Forever,
Interesting cover.
with Alien Buddha Press. It's called A Shadow Wedding. How is a veil like water? And how like a spider web? What is the distance to where the water flows? And where do we spin or discard our dreams. If I understand the water, do I understand the fire? Do I become a dragon? If I puzzle out the riddle, will I become a Sybil? I can't give you everything, and if I had half those answers, I'd have everything to give. Of dragons and Sibyls, I know only the scorched ash, and the riddle remains. Water and spiders, of veils and flow, I've already promised everything I know. Thank you.
Wow. Lovely cover, very lovely cover. The artwork is nice. And it's true, like you said, you can't give someone everything at times. Let's see, Lucinda, she's, I think, still busy. Okay, Tucker. Ellen.
Okay. I really related to your poem about aging.
Listen, we might as well join each other. It's inevitable.
Well, I'm there. Okay, I'll read this new, all right, Mykonos Express. The white island recedes, a sun-chalked triangle of houses against the ochred mountains. Our tiny ferry lurches, putt-putts onto the blue Aegean carpet. Nausea overcomes me. I remember the girl who came off the ferry. Many people threw up, she said, half in Italian, half in sign language. The toilet smell of pee reels me back to the deck, where the captain waves a reassuring arm. My friend giggles. Are we having fun yet? Her husband thrashes in his tote bag. Where's my camera? We rummage our thoughts. The beach, restaurant, cab. Uncaring, the little craft continues its uneven snoring as it noses towards Santorini.
I like that thought. Rummage our thoughts. Wow. Okay. Ellen, really glad to have you here today, and glad you were with us the other day on open mic for the first time, weren't you? Was that
Yeah.
you?
Yes, I was.
I was very glad to get that email from you later. I'm glad you're with us, and I hope you'll continue to be with us.
But nobody remembers Sandy Hokinson?
Remember who?
Sandy Hokinson?
I wasn't a member at that time, Ellen. And Kimberly said she's enjoying everyone's poems. Are you ready to read again, Kimberly? You're on your rose ready to read again.
Boy, oh boy. Okay. Well, sure. I have a book full of poems.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. This one is called Front Row, and it's about every year the kids take their class photos.
Oh,
And
yeah.
this is what it's about. It's called Front Row. Easy to spot, he heads the class out in front, grouped with whomever chance ordained he spent the year with. Numbered school days of hellos and goodbyes, fill in the blank girls with freckles and reddish hair, dot to dot fleshy Miracle Grow boys take up more space than he. No matter, it's easy to see energy in his smile's various wattages. Year after year, flashing awkward grins on the command of cheese, standing still, trying not to blink when the light hits despite the winking of brightness. Lamp heat on the front row, singled out for placement he wouldn't himself choose. Shortest in front. Some trick of genetics, tiny ribbons of matter, complicated schematics, symbols we can't read, develops us into us, at least partially. A typical shot. Classmates' disembodied heads loom, grinning gargoyle guys in the background, compact or gangly, bony brittle or stay puff soft, around the burgeoning matter of us. Just frames that photographers and morticians are paid to arrange.
Wow. I like that, developing us into us. Shantae, we're going around this last time. You got another one? Another short one?
Sorry, I don't have any more today, but thank you.
Okay. I think Lucinda's gone. Tucker, not replying. Ellen, do you have another one?
I could.
I like that. It's always ready. I love that, of course.
Well, I'm just taking them from a book, from my book. Okay. Musée Rodin. The heat of Paris drips bead by bead down my face. I feel the pain of his perfection, whose lovers kiss on molten rock. Adam and Eve created from dust, their veins throb through burning stone. In a garden of sculpture, the burghers of Calais greet us, swathed in green bronze. Gathered together to share the town's secrets, they do not gossip about the giant who lived in this castle with his mistress Camille, gone mad for loss of him, sent to Bedlam without a key, smashing her genius to marble chips. What remains stands pedestaled 3 paces behind the master.
Well, Rodin really was a master, and you're a master of the words you just wrote referring to him. That was really beautiful.
Yeah, well, this was the museum in Paris, the Rodin Museum. You know, all his work is, well, it takes, major place, but Camille, what was her last name? I don't, she was his protege and his mistress, and she was a brilliant sculptress in her own right.
Her own right,
But-
yes.
But she never got that kind of fame, in the public eye that he did. There
Right.
was a movie, Camille Claudel, I think was her last name. It was a movie.
Right. She was always in his shadow. Well,
Yeah.
I told you we did a radio show, and so I would like to close the poetry reading with a poem that was read on the Savannah radio show. It's called Happiness Thrives On. So what does happiness thrive on? Happiness is a fleeting thing, might linger for a while. Sometimes you have to run it down or chase it for a mile. Most time comes from outside ourselves, happenings that show up. Some situations are fabulous. Folks call others bad luck. It's fickle and it's fabulous, just like some men, just when you need happiness around, it's a guess what? No show. Happiness thrives on happiness, grows more quickly if share. Want to know how to get it flowing? Just show someone you care. So for everyone that has participated in today's fourth quarter 2023 Zoom meeting, I thank you so very much. You show you care by being here. You showed you care by being on time. And you showed your care by considering to step up to the needs of this organization. I could not thank everyone that was here today more than I'm trying to now, because you bring happiness to all of us when you show us how much you care. So I want to thank you on behalf of being the Vice President of the Poetry Society. Thank for your support. Anything else anybody else has to have? I have really enjoyed today. And remember, this is going to be the year that it's all about you. You are precious members, are talented poets. We just want to get to know you better. We want to know your works. We want to support your works. We want to educate you. Let us know everything that we can do for you, for the whole board is behind our whole membership. We all love you and we want to be better poets each day. Does anybody else have anything they would like to say?
Yeah, I'd like to ask you, do you have sessions where you critique each other and, where you read a poem and everyone comments and critiques it and to help you make the poem better?
Ellen, I almost put us all on a spot when we started reading today, was to going to ask do we want to critique everyone's after we read? I would love to have my works critiqued, as I know all of you would. Marion, let's see if we can work up something so we can have a little critique going on. Ellen, you support my ideas, and I'm right behind you, Ellen. Thank you. She said she's totally open to that. Honey said she's totally open to that. Okay, Marion, we've got something to work on.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything Marion, do you have anything you would like to say?
Yeah, so I just basically after this meeting is over, it's gonna be a couple days before I can kind of edit and get this up onto YouTube so we can have some sort of record if you want to view this meeting again. Also, just a quick reminder about the upcoming open mics for November 14th and December 12th. You should see that those invitations going out pretty shortly as well.
And I think everyone that read today would be marvelous on our open mic, so don't hesitate to register. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so very much. And until next time, keep on writing.